Hello there and welcome to this very expensive first impression video. So we just did a massive pull session earlier in the morning and we managed to pull this unit all the way to Paragon 4 with over 900 pulls on this account. Right, pretty impressive stuff. And in case you guys are not familiar, Paragon 4 is basically the highest stats in the game. So I can safely say, based on the first day testing as well as some general performance benchmarking, we have a good idea of how this unit will fare moving forward. So if there's more discovery by other players or more ways to use Dunlingr other than the ways that we know, which I'll talk about in today's video, we will definitely release a video to talk about it. Okay, so that's for Dunlingr's TLDR introduction. So for this character right here, Paragon 4 EX15, pretty much full power already. The only thing is to upgrade this to EX25. But with regards to Dunlingr's testing so far, I would say that Dunlingr is less of a tank but more of a control character, because this character ain't exactly that tanky, even though he does have the ability to generate some shield and he does have the ability to reduce damage. But it just feels like Dunlingr as a character is pretty frail. Okay, there's a few reasons for that, right? Number one, his ultimate may be super duper powerful, right? Prevents your enemies from using their ultimate, prevents your enemies from using heals because prevents HP recovery. But at the same time, it's a two-way effect. It's a double-edged sword, because this order applies to everyone on the battlefield except for himself, which means that all your other allies that attempts to heal Dunlingr is not going to work. So this greatly reduces his longevity because you're losing a whole bunch of heals. So the one problem with Dunlingr, based on what we observed so far, is the team building side. Because you have to use a team that doesn't rely on the order that you're trying to apply on an enemy's team, so that you don't lose out too much yourself. Even though this character does have the Clemency Chime right here, which is able to keep one ally protected from all the effects, but it's only one ally, right? It's a team battle of 5 units, so you still have other units which are affected by his order effectively, which makes this character a lot less tankier, more of a control character, and a lot more difficult in terms of team building. So right now, I think the few ways you can use Dunlingr obviously is with the Dunlingr Dino Com, right? The D&D com, which I mentioned in his introduction. So this com relies on Dunlingr, right, protecting Dino while preventing your enemy from using insta control from the Iron Armors combo, because you shut down their ultimate. And right, the Clemency allows our dear Dino to get a haste buff as well as an attack buff, allowing him to perform his actions faster, get a better buff, and be more protected from control from the enemy side. So therefore, this comp is insanely solid, insanely powerful if you have the stat level of both Dino as well as Dunlingr right here, right? Very, very tanky stuff, deals a lot of damage and destroys most teams out there. So this is a very, very powerful duo, probably the best team to use Dunlingr with. Another team that I saw people using Dunlingr with is basically Dunlingr with a bunch of assassins, right? Such as Vala, such as Sylvina. So what you do with this team is you use Dunlingr with the Cure Lock, and then you send in your assassin to quickly snipe off the enemies. So I'll showcase some replay, and then I'll do some Supreme Arena runs to show you guys. So far, these are the two teams I realize are the most efficient with Dunlingr, because these two teams doesn't lose too much to Dunlingr's own order, right? And is able to capitalize on the disability on the enemy team to quickly bring them down through the Assassin's Burst as well as Dino's Burst itself. Okay, so now let's run through some replays right here. Okay, let's run through this one, for example. Okay, with this one is with Lily May. Okay, so let's run through the Dino one first. Okay, so this is the Dino Com D&D. Let's showcase. This is just one variant, so I'm just running like the full Celestial side for maximum stats. So right here, as you guys can see from the yellow bell, the enemy is not able to use the ultimate even though his unit's energy is full. So this is super duper impactful because there's a whole bunch of units out there with insanely powerful ultimate, and if they're not able to use it, you pretty much win the game. So that's why this character is insanely game changing in the offensive side, less so in the defense, because I think in the defense side, I think the enemies can play around that order effect. But still, it's insanely powerful if your enemies have limited units, and Dunlingr is able to shut down some of the most prominent ones out there. So that's with regards to the D&D com. Another com which I think I have it right here. Let's see, I think Ali. Yeah, by Ali right here. Let's see whether or not we can find Ali. Okay, I don't think it's here. Another replay I have is in the Supreme Arena. So this is with a triple assassin strat. So this was also done in the replays itself. So okay, fine, I'll just do it on the Supreme Arena runs itself to showcase to you guys. So let's stick on this guy. So the enemies, for example, if we take a look at this enemy right here, has a heal. This one has Coco, but this one has no heal. Okay, so we will use Dunlingr against this one. Okay, so I'll be filtering out all the other battles except for the Dunlingr ones, so that we can focus on Dunlingr better. So there is a healer on the enemy's end, so you want to quickly snap them off and then proceed to steamroll with your assassin character. So therefore you go for the anti-heal, so this prevents your enemy from healing. And we're gonna buff one of our carries, so we're gonna go with Vala for this one, sending in Sylvina, double unit. And okay, I think I'm gonna put Torrent just to protect Sylvina a little bit better, and I'm gonna put in a Ludovic to give the factional talent bonus as well as heal up Vala in case she's low. Okay, so we're gonna give her the enlightening spell to quickly snap down the enemy, showcase the power of the anti-heal. And let me just reposition these units properly first, because kind of wanna make sure that we don't lose points on this one. Okay, so we're gonna go with, I think we're gonna go with Carolina for this one. Okay, and yep, should be good to go. So let's start. Let's take a look at the first battle, which is the Dunlingr triple assassin com. So Sylvina goes in, Vala hits on our dear Odie, quickly sniping down Odie, starts the burst going, and throughout this full duration, the Odie is not able to heal. This means that if the enemy's team runs a lot of sustain unit like Hewin, like Smokey, like Ludovic, then the anti-heal is the best order to choose. However, in most cases, I think the Spellbind is a lot better, because simply preventing the enemies from using their ultimate is just insane. So that's why Spellbind is a lot better in a lot of situations. Using heals on their team, they can still shield their character. So this is where I think with the prominence of Dunlingr, if Dunlingr offense becomes a thing, then Skalita's value is gonna go off the roof, because Skalita's shield can still go through and Skalita can still buff up your ally. So that's one thing that I observe as well. So next one, other than the Dino as well as the triple assassin com, another com that you can run with Dunlingr right here is obviously the standard the Almas as well as Iron control team, which I'm not going to feature here because that team basically works with any unit splash inside. So I personally think that Dunlingr isn't exactly the best unit in a team, because Dunlingr is anti-synergistic with Iron if you use the ultimate one, and is anti-synergistic with the general wildest healer like Hewin as well as Damien, if you do decide to run them in a team, if you're running the cure log itself. So Dunlingr obviously can be ran here, but you need a little bit more team building. I think another group of units which I think Dunlingr can actually benefit a lot is the Mauler side. So Mauler usually don't have a lot of healers in their team. In fact, the best arena unit for Maulers is actually Coco, like if you're talking about the supports right here. So Coco is shield instead of heal and life drain, so life drain also bypasses the cure log as well, so that's one thing to consider. And then with regards to the Mauler side of things, I think in general Mauler is not that much affected by Dunlingr's lock, because healing is not the main thing about Mauler, at least not in the arena side. And ultimate, yes, is important, but I think a lot of the ultimates from the Mauler side, they're like one cast, like Coco's ultimate, Shakir's ultimate, and Brutus ultimate ain't exactly even that important in the first place. So that's why I think Mauler has also pretty decent synergy with Dunlingr. So I'm gonna showcase it here as well. So we're gonna prevent some healings, okay? Because we don't have any heals, we have shields. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go with this one. Go with our dear confining spell, and then yeah, same setup. I'm just gonna set up this to help my friend push a little bit in terms of rank while showcasing the Dunlingr teams itself. Okay, right here we're gonna do some heal in. Okay, so let's take a look at this Mauler team. Okay, so if you use anti-cure, right, your enemies cannot heal, but it doesn't affect you because you don't run healers. You run shielder as well as the life drain boost for your team. Okay, so that's that. Shakir goes in transform. Another thing I realized about Dunlingr is that I don't know. Okay, just now I mentioned that this character ain't exactly the tankiest, and a huge part of it is because you just can't get heals from your allies in most cases, right? So if you do run Dunlingr in a shield-centric comp, like if you use Coco together with Skalita, then I do think that Dunlingr can be decently tanky as well. But now, like I mentioned earlier as well, do you want to waste those precious units together with Dunlingr? I guess it depends on the situation, because I do think that Dunlingr's ability is so game-changing that he outright can just shut off a whole team if you have the units to do so. So that's why I think this unit is going to be super duper common, at least on the offensive side of things. For the defensive side, I think we still need more testing, so I'll wait until we got more results to talk more about the best teams defensively and offensively. But I do think the D&D comp is probably the best setup and the most expensive one out there. So that's with regards to the team showcase. So my team right here has a little bit of difficulty with the Florbell summons because the Florbell summon is being healed by Faye, unfortunately, and as much as the enemies ain't able to heal, right, the enemy is actually surviving really well because Smokey's not insta killing them fast enough. Okay, but anyway, we are starting to steamroll, so we should be able to finish them off soon already, hopefully. Okay, so this is where Coco Shield is super duper good in synergy with Dunlingr. So I think Coco is probably one of the better supports you can run with Dunlingr, because her kit is mostly not interrupted by Dunlingr except for the ultimate cancellation part. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I think this character still has a lot to be explored, and we will definitely do more testing with him in the next few days. So stay tuned for the best teams, best recommendation, as well as final verdict for Dunlingr moving forward. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more. See you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!